Hello, hello. Welcome to the Super Metroid Multiworld 2v2 tournament. Got a lower bracket match here. I believe lower bracket round 2 between the TacoTankDodgers and LostVikings. LostVikings coming from the upper bracket, winning losing, I guess, their match against Bear Pair, actually, another very strong team. So we're actually seeing very strong runners, very strong team, Rumble, Mins, and Kip in the losers bracket very early because of a rough round 1 winners bracket matchup. Of course, their opponent is no slouch either, DMC Sparta and Zero Mendez, but it's hard to deny that Kip is one of the best randomizer runners in general in Super Metroid, and Rumble is also very strong and has been for a very long time. So there's definitely a bit of a... You don't want to say there's a favorite, but we're definitely expecting LostVikings to win. Kip did not start his timer. That is not what you like to see if you're a fan of LostVikings. Or maybe he did in the fetus version, I'm not sure. We will find out eventually. And I should add, this is a full rando multi-world race, so any item can be anywhere, which I do think works in the favor of TacoTankDodgers. I think, Kip is one of the best major minor players in general. I would say it's what he's best at, and I think his playstyle, which kind of carries over to Rumble's playstyle since they're both, bouncing ideas off of each other, and I think they were both similar players in general. I think the style of being a lot more thorough can tend to work against you in full rando, since there's a lot more items to pick up. It really depends on how confident you feel about your general execution advantage over the opposing team. You have a spring ball early for player 2, Kip and Zero Mendez. That's nice to find. Oh wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. We have a spring ball for player 1. Kip and Rumble should be swapped. Kip is player 1, Rumble is player 2. Hopefully we can get that fixed. I only kind of remember what I was talking about, but yeah, Kip and Rumble tend to be very thorough, and in full rando there's a lot of items to check. Sometimes it can be good to be thorough if you have an execution advantage, which another thing that Kip is very good at is just Super Metroid in general, so definitely has that advantage. But we'll see how they decide to play this seed. We do have the early Billy Mays. This is Billy Mays, right? Billy Mays check from Zero Mendez. Didn't look like it came up anything big. Did get a grapple beam, actually. That's nice. Kip and DMC didn't have the power bumps to do that check, and Rumble actually opted to skip it, which I believe we saw from his last full rando race as well. So it's a little bit of a tricky area, especially without any extra energy. Those boulders do a lot of damage. You can tank a few. They only do 40. I thought they did a lot more, but still not damage you want to be taking early on. If you mess up, things can go wrong, and here we've got the mandatory bomb to Rizzo fight. I think we saw it from Kip as well. Kind of surprised Kip isn't taking the bombs over to Gauntlet, but again with one E-Tank, that's a little bit sketchy. We haven't seen any E-Tanks yet in the seed for anyone, and they're, I think you might be happier to see that than see an E-Tank. A gravity suit for Kip, and soon for DMC at Player 1's Terminator. So that opens up a little bit. There's some Meridia checks that you can do with Gravity Suit that are technically possible to get to without any other movement items. Kip does have Spring Ball. That's not really going to help him in Meridia. But it does open up like Sandpit checks if he wants to gravity jump up Aqueduct or up Mount Everest. Rumble's going to check the back of Gauntlet. There's our first E-Tank. I don't think Rumble will be going back for it, though. So yeah, very safe routes from what we're seeing all around. Looks like DMC might actually be going for this no E-Tank bombs only Gauntlet. At least gonna save. There's a space jump for Rumble. That's real nice. And screw attack for himself, I believe. Or maybe Rumble found that, I'm not sure. I believe that was at early supers for Kip, that screw attack. So we'll see in a second. And actually, Zero and DMC are both going to be going to Gauntlet. Hopefully DMC doesn't forget to do the Terminator check and pick up his gravity suit on the way out. That would be scary, but I imagine most people aren't really forgetting about that check anymore. It used to be a lot more common, but general randomizer knowledge has gotten a lot better since, Rando League Season 1, when that kind of happened more often. Turns out people get better at the game when they play it a lot. Who would have guessed? So yeah, this double gauntlet is going to be a little bit slow, especially for DMC not having any power bombs, just going to have to bomb every wall individually. But we'll see if there's anything important at either of the front of gauntlets. You see Kip, he's got the screw attack. Once he gets there, he will not have to do nearly as much, and that's actually a Varia for Kip as well. So you have to assume Kip is taking that down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. There is player 2's Varia. At player 2's front of Gauntlet. So Rumble, as we're getting the scene swapped, so might be a little bit of technical difficulties, but Rumble, we'll see when he picks up that Varia. You have to imagine he'll probably go up first, and when he goes up, either before or after doing Fantoon. Actually, he got a gravity as well. When did that happen? Oh man, there's been a lot of things happening in this upper Brinstar that I've been missing. And that gravity might actually send him completely away from Gauntlet. So that could be a huge advantage for Zero Mendez, getting that early Varia suit from the Gauntlet check. Look at that double E-Tank too. We'll see if they're both for DMC. Actually, gonna give one to Zero finally. That's Zero's first. Now hopefully DMC doesn't forget that gravity suit. Alright, he doesn't. So we know where all four suits are. Actually, we know as the audience where all four suits are. That's kind of wild, actually. There's still a lot more items they need to finish the game, but depending on their comfortability with things like the Batoon Crystal Flash Clip, it's less items than you'd think. You get a lot of ammo in full rando just by checking every item location. That's where the gravity was. The gravity was at player 2's early supers. Glad we got to see that. I think we saw it earlier and I just missed it because I was looking at the gauntlet checks. And Kip, I'm very surprised he's routing this way. Actually, I think he's just checking the items. He's probably going to check Billy Mays. Oh no, he's actually just checking the behind morph and bailing. I think I like that play, actually, because, like I said, I think he's planning on going down. He has Spring Ball and Screw Attack, so he has a way through Worst Room in the game, and Screw Attack is really nice to have in lower Norfair. Kip is definitely capable of doing high jump plus Lava Dive, and it doesn't even have to. He's got gravity, just does a gravity jump. So I think Kip is definitely taking this to lower Norfair. The question is what he checks on the way. So we don't have a whole lot of movement items, especially not for Kip, who's, well, looks like he's actually going to go up. I'm surprised by this, I will not lie. Kip also not finding very many power bombs. Fortunately, there's these nice guys down here, caterpillars, who will fill you back up. Every time, 98% of the time, they'll drop power bombs. Actually, does this have a 100% chance? I don't remember. I know the CAC attacks have a 98% chance to drop supers. I think these might have a 100% chance to drop power bombs, actually. Not sure, doesn't really matter. Kip likely going to be going up. He does have the gauntlet check as well, which unfortunately won't be big for Kip. What is big is that Rumble is also going up. So I assume both of them will check gauntlet, either before or after wrecked ship. Kip actually bailing. Huh. I don't hate that play, just getting the red tower checks out of the way. You have to hope that Rumble doesn't do the same. A lot of this race, in case anybody missed the first few minutes, Player 2's Varia, which is the only suit that both teams don't have, was at Player 2's front of Gauntlet. Rumble checked the back of Gauntlet and skipped it because it was just an E-Tank and a missile pack. Elected not to go for the dangerous check with 10 power bombs and no E-Tanks. So we will see when he gets to that. I imagine Rumble actually continues up because he doesn't have a good way. He doesn't have a lot to do in Norfair, unlike Kip, who, as I've been saying, can pretty much do anything in Norfair with that Varia suit. So Rumble likely going to be... I imagine he does Wreck Ship first, and then we'll see if he decides to do the Criteria Power Bomb in front of Gauntlet check. Because those are two very slow checks, and since he's already seen the back of Gauntlet, he's only getting one check out of it. So it's entirely possible that Rumble actually skips those, and if he does, then things can get a little bit messy for LostVikings. Either way, Kip decided to go back down, is in Kraid's lair. TheTacoTankDodgers, both of them are still in Brinstar because they've been a lot more thorough with their early checks. Zero checked Gauntlet and Billy Mays, which Rumble did not, which, as I've been saying, is what got him his Varia suit. So can't say it was a bad decision. But it does mean that plus the execution advantage, which I would give to Rumble over Zero, does put him a little bit behind in terms of checks, but in terms of quality of items, he's a little bit ahead. Also going to do this X-ray check, which Rumble has not yet. You have to imagine with Space Jump, he'll do it on the way down. Generally no reason. He can full clear Wreck Ship with this loadout besides the Wreck Ship Reserve, so generally no reason to go out of your way to go to the X-ray check when you're going to have to go down anyways. But some people like to do it early. It's not really a wrong decision either way. We'll see if it's anything good, though. Not really. I'm kind of surprised he's not picking up the power bombs. Yeah, okay. DMC giving the comms like, hey, I only have 5 power bombs. I'd love a couple more. Unfortunately, they were zeros, so not going to give those over. And our first major item in a while, actually, the wave beam in Kip's Kraid's lair for Rumble. Unfortunately, can't use it against Fantoon because no charge beam. That's actually the first beam we found all day, actually. Well, that might not be true. So there is another race going on right now, and they might have found a beam by now. Shoutouts to all the lovely folks at SpeedGaming 5. That's another race going on if you want to watch them both at the same time. I believe Zeb is doing comms for that. But don't fully leave. You can watch the other one. You can even listen to Zeb over me. But don't stop watching, because this is an interesting race. Kip also sending Rumble an X-ray. I believe that was at ice. So he will not forget to do the crumble shaft check. He got a second powerbomb pack. I'm not entirely sure where. I think it was maybe at Alpha Powerbombs. Unsure. Kind of surprised he's not picking up that super pack, but he already has 50-40. So he's already very close to being able to just beat the game. I'm not sure how comfortable Kip is with Batoon Crystal Flash, so I imagine he needs at least Ice or Speed to do that. He does, if he knows the trick, he does have the easy setup for it with the bombs. Easy being a relative term, of course. There's another power bomb. So he's got the Crystal Flash ammo now. There's a speed booster for 0 for player 2 at player 1's moat. If you'll remember, Kip, who just picked up his charge beam, by the way, so forget all the talk we've been saying about ammo. Well, not entirely. He doesn't have any beams to supplement it. But Kip checked the top of Red Tower and then left. So never got far enough to actually get that speed booster, which just got sent. That's DMZ and 0 might not have the best connection, but as long as the items get sent eventually, you're not too worried. They also might be a little bit out of sync since 0 doesn't have a timer on his stream, but I digress. So Rumble, ooh, that's a nice item. Gets his high jump boots up in the attic missile. Kind of surprised DMC's actually going up first as well. Like with both suits, it seems like the logical play is just to go down every time, but well, Kip might be pretty comfortable with these low item loadout lower Norfairs. I don't know if I can say the same for DMC. It is a little bit tricky. Kip finds his own wave beam. That's actually pretty nice with charge. Yeah, DMC looking for a few more items, a few more movement items, ideally. And we haven't seen any of Player 1's movement items, so they could all be here in the ship. It's very possible. Nice springball jump there from Kip to get him up to these upper Bulb Mountain checks. I think what he's going to do is check the reserve speed and wave, and then take the new route path into Lower Norfair. He's got decent ammo for it, plus that charge wave, which you can use to open up on Ridley, get a few X factors in. So his offensive capability is pretty good, plus having that screw attack. It's Rumble's Charge Beam, who also got his Plasma, but is going to skip bowling. I believe he checked the back. But if he's skipping bowling, does that mean he is going to skip the gauntlet? And he is. Okay. That is bad news for LostVikings. Yeah, Rumbles did check the back of... he checked the reserve item, which he could get anyways, actually, because he didn't have Speed Booster. Bit of an interesting decision to check that and then not go for bowling, in my opinion. But I guess having the knowledge isn't bad. He also got that Ice Beam from Kip, so he's got full beam combo. That's nice, at least. He can actually take that all the way through Meridia. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Rumble decides to do. He might do the upper Norfair checks first. He's definitely got options. Didn't check X-Ray either on his way down, but fortunately that's not anything important. Well, we know that, at least. I could be mistaken. Did he not check that before? It seems odd that he's not checking it now with Space Jump. Did I miss it? Not sure. Well, Zero Mendez, with that Space Jump, does have the easiest time getting to lower Norfair of the 4 runners right now, and you see, that's where he's going. I don't even think he checked anything in Upper Norfair, at least not anything in Bubble Mountain. I didn't really see what he did, though. I haven't been watching super closely. But he's going to go. He's got enough ammo, although he will need to do some farming for Ridley. Does not have that charge beam to back him up, so we'll need to rely entirely on a super count, which he's got 45, maybe that's 35 max. I can't really tell, but only 15 in the chamber right now. Gonna want a few more of those, and definitely gonna want a refill before fighting Ridley. Yeah, they're just looking for player one's... TheTacoTankDodgers is really just looking for player one's Meridia access, and that's go mode, technically. Meridia access and then ammo, which they will, of course, need to do a few checks to get enough ammo. But, you know. Zero also skipped the... They've been skipping pretty much every check in Lower Norfair. Skipped the GT checks as well as the Mickey Mouse missile. Kip actually did a save before entering Lower Norfair, so I imagine he's planning on save scumming the GT checks, and it looks like he's headed that way. Remember, he's still looking for Rumble's Varia, though, so it does make a little bit more sense. That's not what you were hoping for. Kip actually paused to turn off Spazer and then realized doesn't actually have plasma. Not really a reason to do that. And is likely going to reset. No point in keeping the Spazer. Charge Wave is fine enough, and he'll have plenty of ammo to deal with Mother Brain at the end of the game. It's kind of interesting. All of Player 2's beams were at Player 2's ship and Player 1's Upper Norfair. And for TheTacoTankDodgers, we're seeing Player 1's ship and Player 2's Norfair. So we've got the full beam combo for Rumble and true zero beams for Zero. Unless you want to count Grapple Beam. It is technically called the Grappling Beam in this game. So you could count it. Not going to give him any offensive capability against these bosses, though. But he can mess up some crabs, that's for sure. Here we see the farming for Zero. This is going to take a while, since he hasn't been getting any... He hasn't been picking up any items, and DMC hasn't found him any super packs. So he'll be farming for a while. Kip gonna go for a spring ball jump up worst room in the game. Does not have high jump, so not the most comfortable movement, but remember, Kip is one of the best low ice runners. I believe he still has a top 3 time in the world, so maneuvering around lower Norfair without high jump is not too difficult for him. Although, I guess in low ice he'd be doing much different strats than what he actually did. But, you know, we gotta stick to the narrative. It's not about making sense, it's about the narrative. I'm in agreement with chat that I wish Kip did red mail for Varia and blue mail for Gravity. I feel like that makes more sense. Although I'm basing my knowledge off of Ocarina of Time Link suits and instead of Link to the Past. I don't actually know what the different mails do in Link to the Past, but that's not really relevant right now. Zero has farmed up for this Ridley fight. There's player 1's high jump. Player 2's crumble shaft. And Rumble unfortunately falls down, so gonna need to get back up for that. Does have a crystal flash in case this room goes catastrophically bad. Which it will not. Zero's missed a few supers. I hope that's okay. Ridley's looking mighty dead. And dead he is. Zero is fine. Gonna need to do some of these item checks to actually get more ammo. So we know Charge Beam is, I believe, all the way in. I think his Charge Beam is at his. It's above Criteria. It's above West Ocean. The West Ocean missile. That isn't Sky Missile or Ocean Missile. Whatever it's called. I think it's just called Middle Missile, I've been told. Which is a silly name, but I guess it makes sense. Regardless, I think we'll see Zero do all these checks on his way out of Lower Norfair and likely do the Bubble Mountain checks. Maybe Zero just decides to go straight to Meridia. That's also a very item-dense area, especially in full rando, where there's a lot of what would normally be minor items and major minor, and so are low priority, they all can be anything in full rando, and Zero's actually looking for minors regardless. He's got plenty of power bombs, so I won't need to worry about soft locking himself here. And Rumble, as predicted, I believe he checked high jump and ice and went straight into Meridia. With no Varia suit and with Ice Beam, this is the logical play, following the items you have. But we've already seen so much. There's so little that can actually be found here. The biggest thing is player 1's Meridia, like logical Meridia access, speeder ice. Which is significant. I shouldn't say it isn't. That could be in Meridia, that could be in Upper Norfair. Could be in player 1's game. There's a lot of places it could be. But wherever it is, neither team has it just yet. Well, yeah, Zero checking these items. There's a lot of items in the Lower Norfair Escape, actually. It's a fairly item-dense area. There's, 4 checks here? Super missiles for not him, but for the person who already has 50 super missiles. 55 now on DMC Sparta. The leading super missile owner right now.
as Rumble immediately ties him thanks to a generous donation from Kip. And we'll see what DMC actually decides to do here in Meridia. Does have the bombs, so could potentially go for a Crystal Flash clip if he's comfortable with the trick. If he is, then that's huge. There's the Spazer for player 2. We actually know it's player 2 Spazer. And Rumble is not going to be picking that one up. Kip actually has the luxury of skipping these super missiles, though. Both players have charge wave plasma on the LostVikings side. Meanwhile, neither player having a single beam for Zero and Sparta. The TheTacoTankDodgers. Call them the beam Dodgers. I don't know. Can we scratch that one from the record, please? Anyways. Moving on from that. Looks like Rumble's actually going to be setting up for a snail clip here. Ooh, that was close. I think the snail needs to be a couple pixels higher. I'm not super knowledgeable about snail clip into Aqueduct, but looks like Rumble is not going to make it. That first item isn't anything good anyways, so it's not the end of the world. Rumble with that Ice Beam is going to be completing Meridia. Going into Botwoon, has that X-Ray even, so we'll make quick work of the foes in Meridia, if you will. The fiends. Well, there's player 2's bombs. That's something. Not really anything particularly useful. Have we seen every beam now? No, we're still missing player 1's ice. We've seen every beam except for player 1's ice. Because we have seen both Spacers on LostVikings side. Neither runner opting to keep it. One of them did pick it up, but Kip did not keep it. He reset out of it. There's a screw attack for player 1. Not what you're hoping for. Oh, pardon me, that's player 2 screw attack DMC found. So that's nice, but unfortunately coming after Zero has already cleared lower Norfair. Maybe not what he was hoping to find. Still not a terrible item to find, though. A nice luxury pickup. I think most of the items checks we're seeing right now are new. Gets more power bombs for DMC. And that gives Crystal Flash ammo. I think he only had 10 power bombs before this. I don't imagine DMC is going to go straight for Crystal Flash clipping, though. We are still looking for that Ice Beam or Speed Booster. Where, oh where could it be? See if DMC is able to pull off this snail clip. He keeps getting these power bombs on a delay, so that gives him a few more tries. Okay, that's too far. That looks good for DMC. We'll see. He thinks it's a little too high up. It's actually going to reset the room and commit to this. And I don't hate the decision. Or maybe not. I think that powerbomb might have killed the other snail. Oh, there it is. That's a little bit low. Not really seeing anything super interesting in the meantime as Kip bomb jumping for a super pack. That is his 65th. Oh, pardon me. That's Rumble's 65th. Important distinction to make. There's the snow clip from DMC. We'll see if he gets rewarded with that ice beam. Fortunately not, just a missile. Missile for him and his partner, who is also in Meridia and will have a much nicer time of things having that speed booster. See how Zero decides to play this. I imagine we see DMC checking both sand pits at least. Then he might bail after that and go up to... He actually hasn't done Ridley yet. I believe DMC did... Did he do all of Upper Norfair? I feel like he should have done way more for how far he is into the game. I assume he did Upper Norfair. No, because... Yeah, I don't think he went into Norfair, because Norfair had all of Player 1's Norfair had a bunch of Player 2's beams. Seems odd to me that DMC has done so little. Maybe I'm missing something. Part of it is just this Meridia play, as chat pointing out. There's nice item density at the beginning, and then kind of falls off after that. There's a grapple beam, so that opens up the Shaq Tool play if he wants to go there. But I think he's gonna do it. He's thinking. Alright, not gonna go there. So we're still looking for Player 1's logical access into Meridia. Kip not finding it either. We'll see what Kip decides to do. I'm not sure what that pause was for. Maybe to check his reserves, potentially? Looks like DMC is also committing to the Crystal Flash clip. I believe Kip is doing as well. Potentially. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kip do Shaq Tool, actually. Meanwhile, Zero finishing up Dragon. He's so far ahead of DMC. Zero is. So he can spend a lot of time doing some item checks. Unfortunately, we know at least this item won't be... DMC has 75 supers. Oh, he killed his Metroid. That's fine. He's doing Crystal Flash. I'm silly. And first try, look at that. DMC Sparta. That's go mode, presumably. It's a rough go mode because you still want to have some more items in Lower Norfair. But that gives them logical access to the rest of the game. Including Mother Brain with 80-70. And Kip, meanwhile, looks like he's bailing, not going to go for the Crystal Flash clip. Gonna go up and check Fantoon. He'll get Rumble's speed booster up there. I don't remember what else was up there for player 1. It wasn't a whole lot interesting. We'll see where Zero decides to go as well. Kind of surprised he's not doing any of these longer Meridia checks with all the time he has. But not going to do those yet. He actually didn't check this on the way in. That's kind of interesting. Rumble, that E-Tank is unfortunately not his. He'll be fine. He's actually going to wait. Doesn't have the speed booster, so doesn't need to worry about the lava rising in this room. So he's actually just going to wait Crystal Flash here. I don't dislike this play. Maybe a bit overly safe. There's the speed booster, by the way, that he's about to get sent. So that won't trigger in this room, but it will trigger in the next room. Fun fact about how that works. And there's the first beam for the TheTacoTankDodgers. That's Spazer Beam or Zero Mendez. Honestly, we've seen Rumble do suitless lower Norfair or varioless lower Norfair in this tournament before. I'm kind of hesitant to even call TheTacoTankDodgers ahead because of how far behind DMC Sparta is. He's behind Rumble right now if Rumble commits to a suitless lower Norfair and executes it well. With less, even with the Varia, with so little movement items. As in, really no movement items, just that spring ball. Player 2 grapple was... I believe it was at player 2 Billy Mays. If I'm not mistaken, that's where it was. So, this is kind of a weird one. I guess this could feasibly come down to how well Kip can do the Crystal Flash clip. Like if he just can't do it and has to basically full clear the rest of the game, that could also matter. I don't know. This is weird. Looks like Rumble didn't like. He's actually skipping the croc check again, I think. This is the play we saw him do last race, where he skipped croc, just went straight for lower Norfair, and it nearly won his team the race. Now Rumble does have 2 Crystal Flashes, plus a full beam combo, so he's willing to use all of that ammo on the 2 Crystal Flashes. This is about as comfortable as a lower Norfair without Varia can get. See if Kip is able to find his teammate any energy tanks. I don't remember. I believe there were some E-tanks up here in Player 1 Direct Ship, but I couldn't tell you exactly where. I don't remember where Player 1's high jump was. I want to say it was in Player 2's game, but I don't remember where. Kip actually bailing on the top of Rex's ship. Where could he be going? There's only one place that really makes sense. We'll see if he does any checks on the way, but seems like he's going to do a final few checks and then go back into Meridia. DMC in the Kraid fight. I think we've seen Kraid stand-ups from... We definitely saw it from Zero. I think we saw it from Rumble. I think Kip got the quick kill, but I think it's just Kip so far. DMC gonna make it at least 2, though. He's gonna get Zero's Wave Beam in Kraid's lair. That's about it, though. Rumble actually has 3 Crystal Flashes, doesn't he? Not right now. Needs a couple more Power Bombs for that. But he's got a lot of effective health. He's got a lot of effective health outside of the Ridley fight, though. That's worth mentioning. Alright, hopefully he turns reserves back to manual. Or back to auto. He did. We did see that in a race. I believe it was, I actually don't remember who it was who had their reserves turned to manual and tried to do a Crystal Flash. They didn't die, so there's that. And we're going to do a Crystal Flash in this little crevice before entering a pretty dangerous room in Wasteland. He does have Screw Attack, but this is a good timing for a Crystal Flash. Looks like Kip is checking the sand pits. He will find Grapple, and will probably follow that Grapple into Shaq-Tool. There's a Charge Beam. DMC does not need. And likely will not use. Kip getting an E-Tank. I think this is Rumble's E-Tank, actually. So that's worth mentioning. Rumble will get that nice refill, and you see Kip setting up for it. Oh, I was wrong. That was not Rumble's E-Tank. I thought it was. That's unfortunate. They played it right, but unfortunately was not to be. And so Rumble will just wait around for another Crystal Flash. Try to pick up some extra ammo on the way. Now Kip's gonna go to the other sand pit. Remember, Rumble does have full beam combo, so even though he's only entering the fight with a few supers, he does have a very comfortable Ridley. Has full movement items as well, besides Spring Ball, which not exactly the most helpful item during the Ridley fight.
Nobody clip me saying Spring Bowl wasn't helpful and send it to MM2. Don't do it. I swear.
DMC is not happy. Waiting for at least a high jump. There's zeros charge and everything.
Fortunately, DMC looks like he is going to bite the bullet and go down to lower Norfair. So it's kind of a race. It's Rumble. I wasn't really pointing it out because there's a lot of other interesting things going on the map. Gets that Ridley fight nicely. So as long as he can get out safely, which he needs to fill up some power bombs. Well, I guess he... No, he needs to at least one power bomb drop to actually get out of Wasteland.
But he's got bombs for everything else. Hopefully he remembers, which he does. Look at that. And Rumble just needs to get into a safe spot to Crystal Flash. Rumble! Rumble! Okay, he's fine.
As Kip also gets that Crystal Flash clip. Look at that. And I'm not going to lie, with that, I think LostVikings are in the lead. I think Kip will be much faster than DMC is, getting all the way to Ridley and all the way back.
That is big.
Still not sure where player one's ice or speed are. The only beam we don't know, and one of the only items in general we don't know. Just player one's ice, player one's speed, player two's spring ball. We know everything else. And player one's space jump. I don't know where that is. I didn't see what happened to Rumble. He is in danger though. Not super healthy.
Not in a good spot on the map. He's all the way down in Wasteland. What happened?
Whatever it is. I don't believe it's an E-Tank behind Dragon. This could be troublesome. Skip gonna X-ray his Dragon. Yeah, I'm not sure where Rumble is, but he is in trouble. Not sure how he ended up in this position either. He might be waiting for a while, though. There's not a whole lot of items for Kip to check. Yeah, Rumble's just going to go for it. He's got that screw attack. Doesn't get the speedball out of Lower Norfair, out of Wasteland. Oh no. Oh no. He doesn't have enough health to make it through. He's just gonna pause here, or is he gonna reset? I guess neither. That's bad. He did save. He did save before Ridley. It's not the end of the world, but it is very bad. Because DMC doesn't have the same movement items, doesn't have the same beam count either. But he is now ahead and does have that Varia suit, and I think we have another lead change in the end. I think that's what that means.
This is going to be interesting. Does give Kip some more time to check items, but I'm not really sure what he has left to check. There isn't a whole lot. Rumble, once again, crystal flashing on his way into Wasteland. He'll do another one before Ridley, and then does need to farm up power bombs a bit, but he'll do another one on the way out, and hopefully that one will last him further than bottom of Wasteland. Zero's not really sure what to do either. There aren't a whole lot of items left to check. DMC is a little bit low on ammo, and Ridley's being a little bit of a troll, but he's got a lot of power bombs, so even if he missed a bunch of supers, he would be fine. And Ridley's down. I think Zero's just ending the game. He's not going to wait up. We'll need to powerbomb the Metroids. Oh, well. He's got the waterway check, I guess. He can get to waterway and get back up before Sparta is in criteria. Might as well. Could be speed, could be ice. Ice would be very nice right now for a DMC. So would speed, really. They would both help a lot. Rumble, once again setting up for the Ridley fight. Gonna do this Crystal Flash to enter the fight at full. Yeah, 8 tanks is a little bit rough. He's got all the items, but not quite all the health he would want for Zulus. There's an E-tank here for Kip. And this... Actually, I'm not even going to say it. I don't know whose E-tank this is. I think Kip has one of Rumble's E-tanks in the back of Gauntlet, though. So there is that. I don't remember who has this E-tank. I think this is also Kip's. Rumble not having the cleanest Ridley fight. I think, I don't want to say too much, but might be getting a little bit frustrated with how things have gone. Ridley is not paying him any favors, that's for sure. He is going to pause. And I believe the right E-tank in Gauntlet for Kip is Rumble's E-tank. If I'm not mistaken, there are 2 E-tanks. Okay, I was right. Cool. So that's really big for Rumble. That should be enough to get him out as well, since he won't need to do an immediate Crystal Flash right after he leaves Ridley. Meanwhile, though, not sure where Zero's going. He's only got so much time to lose. Might be checking might be like sparking for Main Street or something like that. I'm not really sure what else he can do. But being a homie, checking items for DMC, whatever he has left. DMC has made his way out of Lower Norfair. That's not entirely accurate. Referring to chat saying the time from now and when he leaves Wasteland is how much he lost by not waiting. Because Kip would have picked up the E-tank a little bit sooner. Rumble is in a safe spot to Crystal Flash here. So he's got that going for him. I would have pressed up against the wall, but that's just me. Okay. I got worried for a second there that Rumble might have altered its position by a couple pixels. I guess Zero didn't do any of these front Meridia checks, so now is as good a time as ever to do them. Unfortunately, still not going to find player 1's movement items, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. It's the thought that counts sometimes. Yeah. Player 2's Varia is at the front of player 2's gauntlet. Answer that question in chat. Rumble did not check it. Rumble also skipped Billy Mays. Zero checked both, got his grapple and his Varia out of the 2 checks. And the latter of which has made a huge impact in this race. DMC's actually bomb jumping out of Meridia. Rumble might catch up. Rumble does have full movement items. It's definitely not over. This is a little bit painful to see. There's a pretty easy gravity jump to get up here, I think. Ooh, that bomb was early. Fortunately, he shifted over in time. Well, DMC Sparta is ahead of Rumble at least. Rumble might actually be... He's not quite ahead of Kip. Rumble does have to go all the way across criteria. We're going to see, for the second race in a row in LostVikings, excuse me, I'm getting all flustered. This race is so exciting. We're going to likely see 4 Mother Brains at the same time. Depending on how well the players execute. It'll be very similar, at least. Rumble will have to ship refill as well as DMC. And Rumble's is going to take much longer because his health is much lower. DMC actually opting to not save. That's suspicious, but not a huge deal. And in this case, it might make the difference since he needs every second he can get. Rumble has that speed booster and is coming up fast. Also has that full beam combo. Can do stand up. I don't actually think Rumble is behind. Wait a minute. I think he was behind, but DMC, he dropped his bomb jump going up Meridia, and bomb jumping in the first place is really slow, so it gave Rumble a lot of time to catch up. He's not even that far behind now. With that ice beam in the Metroid rooms, he's going to be ahead of DMC. He didn't refill though, but I guess he didn't have to because he had full beam combo. That's right. So yeah, Rumble is just ahead of DMC right now. He's gonna pass him probably in Metroid Room 2, straight up. That ice beam, which I believe was at player 1's Bubble Mountain. DMC didn't check speed. I want to say... Wait. Hold on. I'm getting my players mixed up. We don't know where player 1's ice is. We know where player 2's ice is, but that's not going to help DMC very much. So, Lost Vikings, once again, you're in the lead. This one looking a lot more, not a lot bigger, but a lot more definitive. Zero just going to be super missiling these Zebs. Not going to bother with any kind of speed Zeb skip. He is the one in the lead. DMC unfortunately cannot do a baby skip without any movement items, so he's not going to try. I think Rumble did try, but didn't get very far. Ooh, DMC kind of facing the wrong way, though, losing that extra second. Untrivial. But likely not going to matter at this point. Rumble with the ice and speed boosters. A little too far ahead. Zero done with Mother Brain 2. Gonna go for a stand-up. Doesn't have X-ray in case he accidentally locks onto the floor, so that's notable. But I'm confident Zero knows what he's doing. Let's see how he decides to play this, actually. Might just opt to not actually do stand-up. And here we are. 4 Mother Brains at the same time for the second race in a row for Lost Vikings. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh no. That's bad. Zero is on the floor. This is probably fine. Zero will most likely get kicked away by Mother Brain and regain control. But it's not guaranteed. Depending on his exact positioning. Okay, he's fine. Cool. I'm not going to have the best stand-up because he spent half of it stuck in Mother Brain's toes, but he's alright. Rumble is setting up for a stand-up. DMC without Plasma Ice. Not really going to bother. His beam combo isn't really strong enough. This is a crazy race, y'all. I was not expecting it to be this close. Kind of seen. I was talking at the beginning, Lost Vikings being the more thorough team. I believe Rumble did this last race, though, where he skipped a lot of the early checks. He definitely skipped Billy Mays when he had an opportunity to. I don't remember if it was last race, but I have seen him do it in tournaments. Maybe calling them the thorough team isn't the right thing to do. And it almost cost him. It was very close, but Lost Vikings, barring a catastrophe, have pulled it off. I think we will actually have everyone in the escape at the same time. I believe Sparta will finish Mother Brain 3 before Rumble or Kip finishes the escape. I think Rumble might finish. Well, no, he won't finish before Kip, but it'll be very close. He's going to save a ton of time in that room. Now he is in the same room as Kip, and he'll be able to spark up the shaft, but Kip's pretty good at the climb. Although, we'll see. Kip, did he turn off high jump? No, he's got high jump on. We'll be doing that left side wall climb. Do have the first finish as Zero Mendez finishes with in first place with an official time of 1:09.22. Finishing right after, or right around the same time, DMC Sparta started up his escape. Fortunately, it is not quite enough. Kip's going to finish in second with an official time of 1:09.58, and Rumble in third, official time of 1:10.11. LostVikings. It was close. It was not the prettiest. They are going to be moving on to the next round of the lower bracket. And what a race this was. As we are joined by the victorious LostVikings, Kip and Rumblemans. GG, y'all.
Hey.
How y'all feeling after that one?
GG.
I learned some things. Derp, I learned some things. Growth is important. Learning is good.
Yeah, I feel like we played, pretty well during large chunks of this, and then, we had a few struggles in a few areas. I basically this entire time I've just been thinking about, man, when I get to this interview, where are we going to find out Varia was that I accidentally skipped again that cost us the race? So where was Rumble's Varia?
Well, I've got good news for you, Kip. You didn't skip it. It was at the front of Player 2's gauntlet.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Did they get theirs pretty early?
Yes. Zero did a bunch of early checks that Rumble skipped. He did the Billy Mays, which got him grapple, and did the front of gauntlet, which got him that Varia suit.
Gotcha. Well, that turned out to be a really, really good race. The primary thing that I would like to say about this race is I have known how to do the Botwin Crystal Flash for like a long time, but I've never done it in a race before. And I've heard a bunch of people talk about how Kip doesn't know how to do that trick or whatever. So I finally proved it to the world that I know how to do it. So that's what makes me happy about this race. But otherwise, I'm really, pleased that we won. I wish we could get a seed that was maybe a little less stressful for us at some point, but I'm glad we get to continue forward, and I'm really proud of Rumble for doing a second lower Norfair hell run in a row.
Yeah, I would like Varia if like that's it. Just can we find Varia at like Kip's ceiling, like the ceiling E-tank at the beginning, so I just don't even have to think about it.
Right. But looks like Sparta's here, and I think Mendez is coming in. GG, guys.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, Sparta finishing with a time of 1:11.16. So yeah, Sparta, same question to you, and eventually Zero, as I did Trick and Rumble. How are y'all feeling about that seed?
I think you can pull Zero to the interview. Oh, he's out. All right. Well, if I got it right, one of you didn't find Varia.
Yeah.
Correct.
That was me.
Oh, yeah, because all suits were really early in the game. I was wondering what went wrong, because with Varia and Gravity for both players right at the start, how did we finish so close? Because I was betting that with both those items, you go straight to Norfair and clear everything.
Yeah, coming up, I only had one power bomb pack, and so I can check the two items in back, and that's just a lot faster than only being able to get the one and having to reset and checking it. And so we just skip it, and it's like worst case scenario for Varia to just be right there, the one item in Gauntlet that I couldn't check and didn't go back for.
Yeah, so right at the start, when we found both suits for both players, we were wondering, okay, they got everything that we got. what we can do that it's different, that is risky and can pay off. So we are betting that both of you will go to Norfair first. So I went to Rocket Ship, then Maridia, and then I did Norfair. But for like half an hour, I didn't get any items. There was nothing on Rocket Ship, except I believe speed for Zero Mendes, and nothing on Maridia. And since we didn't find ice or speed for me, I did a safe clip. And then we didn't have charge for Zero for most of the game. So after Maridia, I did some checks on Open Warfare to get missiles and supers so we could finish the game. I believe we lost because I think I did one too many checks. I think we should be going to Torian a little early because I think we after Zero Mendes did Rocket Ship and he found his charge beam at the end. So we collected a lot of ammo, and in the end, we didn't need it all.
Well, still, I gotta say, I mean, that's a very, very thoughtful way to approach the seed, especially against us. I love it when players individually and team wise, like, kind of meta strategy around what they think is going to be best in the matchup. So, sounds like y'all had like a really good approach to it. It's hard to say, how it is. It's hard to say at the end of a race whether one or two small changes would lead to a victory or not. But turned out to be a great race. And I also kind of want to say just up front that I really appreciate you guys being so easy to work with and like willing to book the race very quickly. So it was a lot of fun, getting it done, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Thanks. Yeah, it was an honor to race against you. So, well, I had a really good start, and maybe my Maridia was good, but I think I lost a lot of time in Rocket Ship and doing checks in Upper Norfair. I think that was where we lost the race in the end, but it was really close. So I'm satisfied with the result.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch back, I think, given how close it was. I was worried it was going to happen again. We had the same discussion, Kip and I. It's like, okay, well, we're on escape, so if we lose now, at least it was a close race, right? And as we're saying that, DMC Sparta or Zero Mendes has finished in first place. And I'm like, oh God, not again. This just happened.
It happened at the exact same time for me. It happened in the climb. Like in our last race, when I was in the climb is when we saw PBB finish, and I was like, oh no. And then this one, the same thing. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. We're going to lose in the exact same way. But yeah, it was very, very, very close race. I bet it was a lot of fun to watch. And, again, GG and congratulations on the tournament. I don't know about y'all, but I'm having a lot of fun. Like, this is my first kind of serious foray into doing multi-world, and I've really enjoyed it. It's a really cool format.
Yeah, I'm having lots of fun. So we lost the first two races, then we had a big win against MGA and Stasio Cat. So we were hoping for another big upset today. It was
holy
close.
cow.
That's quite it was close to quite the run. Unfortunately, we have other plans, I guess.
Also, Dirt, before we get too far in Gestro, thank y'all for doing the commentary and the tracking work. Always enjoy the Derp commentaries. So what'd it look like from your end, buddy?
Looked like you forgot to pick up Varia soon.
Oh, God. I didn't
Yeah, shout outs to Jester. He's been doing a ton of tracking for this tournament, and I think he does a good job.
He does a fantastic job, and this is really hard to track because the fanfares only last 1 second, and there's 4 people, so that's a very nice job.
Hey, Zero, are you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Hey, GG.
Right.
GG, Zero.
Hey, thank you guys. GG to you too.
I think it's really great that neither player one had speed or ice, so everybody's crystal flash clipping in. I wonder where those were, because
we don't actually know where those were. Shout out to DMC though, getting the crystal flash clip first try. That was
first try. Nice.
Moment.
Yeah, I've been practicing that for another tournament, and I was happy to put it to good use today.
No doubt.
Yeah, I was glad he was the one getting the CF clip because mine is terrible. I need at least 10 tries or something like that to get it.
Well, guys, I'm gonna leave it there and go let my dog out. The funny thing is I just noticed that I got 66%, and I think Rumble did too, which is the close thing you can get to an evil number, I guess, in Multiworld. But
Yeah.
it's not even really an evil seed. We just missed the important item location. But one of these days, Rumble, we'll find your area. But
Just once, that'd be nice.
yeah, but gentlemen, GG again, congratulations, and thank you again, Derp and Jestro, and everybody watching, and we'll look forward to our next race. I think we got to wait for a few races to finish before we know who will race, but we're looking forward to racing again. So, see you next mission.
See ya.
Awesome. Thanks all. We'll see you next time.
That's going to wrap it up for us. So, like Kip said, we'll see you next mission.